Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime TV News. This is the Tuesday's edition with me, Lahiru Waduge. As usual, let's begin with our headlines first. ADB gives 8,000 million rupees for enterprises Sri Lanka solar power generation. President seeks a report on frauds in development projects. 4 elephants are killed in a train collision. And in news overseas, leaders of North and South Korea meet in the North Korean capital. Starting off with our headline-making stories tonight, the Asian Development Bank has given 8,000 million rupees on behalf of the Enterprises Sri Lanka solar power generation project. The related agreement was signed at the Finance Ministry today. This financial assistance has been given for the installation of solar panels on rooftops. Secretary to the Finance and Mass Media Ministry, Dr. R.H.S. Samaratunga, and Sri Vidovati, the Director of the Sri Lanka Resident Mission of the Asian Development Bank, inked the agreement. The Enterprises Sri Lanka program is operative with the intention of molding 100,000 entrepreneurs. A sum of up to 7.5 million rupees is being given as loans for entrepreneurs for the Solar Power Generation Relief Loan Scheme. The interest that would be charged is 8%. The government expects to generate 200 megawatts in 2020 and 1,000 megawatts in 2025 through solar power. Now moving on to other news, President Maithripala Sirisena has said that everyone should unite to discharge their responsibilities towards environment. This responsibility should be fulfilled by at least planting 1 sapling in every house. The President made these observations during a progress review meeting of the Mahaveli Development and Environment Ministry. The progress review meeting of the Ministry of Mahaveli Development and Environment was held at the Ministry Auditorium under the patronage of the President. It is planned to plant 3 million trees throughout the island during the National Tree Planting Week next month. The Environment Ministry has finalized all arrangements in this respect on the instructions of the President. Discussions centered at length on this matter. The President mentioned that the entire nation, including politicians and state officials, should get involved in the tree planting programs to endow a secure environment on behalf of the future generation. Planting of trees should not be limited to a day or a week. He pointed out the need to expand it among the people as a habit. The progress on development projects, including irrigation projects operative under the Mahaveli Development Ministry, came in for discussion. Attention was drawn to their future plans. The President issued instructions for the acceleration of the work on the Uma Oya project and pass on its benefits to the people by the beginning of next year. The President made inquiries into the process of the program on the grant of Mahaveli land deeds. Buildings of the Mahaveli Authority that are not being used are being provided to other state institutions. Its progress was also perused. The President advised officials to release them for institutions identifying their priority. The President instructed the Ministry Secretary Anura Disanayaka to make inquiries whether any complaints had been received from the people on fraud and corruption on any development projects that are operative under the Ministry of Mahaveli Development and Environment. The President requested an immediate report in this respect. State Minister of Mahaveli Development Veerakumara Disanayaka and senior officials of the ministry joined in this discussion. Now, in a tragic accident, 4 elephants have been killed in a train collision. The elephants had been hit in a train transporting fuel and bound for Batticaloa from Orugodavatta. The train had derailed following the accident. As a result, there were obstructions to the operations of trains between Batticaloa and Trincomalee. The accident had occurred near the Puakpitiya 127th mile post at Habarana on the rail track from Colombo to Galoya. One she-elephant was pregnant at the time of the incident. The fetus had come out following the impact. Signboards have been installed on this track saying the elephants were passing by. The railway control room said the train engine and 2 oil tank wagons derailed and 1 tank wagon had developed a leak. It was witnessed as to how the people were hurriedly collecting the fuel that was leaking. The rail track was heavily damaged following the derailment, bringing to a standstill the operations of trains from between Trincomalee and Batticaloa. Operations are underway to effect repairs to the track. In the meantime, an officer of the Civil Defence Force was killed in an elephant attack in the Kottukachia area in Puttalam. Another officer sustained critical injuries. A group engaged in an operation to drive away the elephants had come under attack. Wildlife officials carried out the operation following information they had received that a herd of elephants was roaming in the village. It was a 53-year-old officer residing in the Moonamal Gaswaba area in Karuwala Gaswaba who was killed in the elephant attack. The financial fraud lawsuit filed against parliamentarian Johnston Fernando was taken up again for hearing today. Vijay Bandararatnayaka, an operator of Satosa, gave evidence when the case was taken up for hearing before Kurunegala High Court Judge Menaka Vijayasundara. He revealed that goods were issued following a letter sent by the minister along with his signature. It was also mentioned in this letter sent by the minister that these goods were necessary for distribution among the poor in the Kurunegala district and that he was not aware whether these goods were distributed among the poor. Further testifying, Mr. Vijay Bandara said that he had also given a statement to the Financial Crimes Investigation Division in 2015 on the release of these goods. Hearing of further evidence was postponed for tomorrow. Until then, the court remanded all the defendants of the case. Inspector of Police Nirmal Rangajiva and Police Inspector of the Police Narcotics Bureau and former Prisoners Commissioner Emil Ranjan Lamaheva have been further remanded. They were taken into custody with regard to the murder of 27 inmates at the Valikada prisons. Colombo Additional Magistrate Priyantha Lianage ordered them to be remanded until the 2nd of October. The Colombo High Court had earlier rejected the revised petitions filed by the suspects appealing for bail. An analysis with regard to 25 T-56 firearms recovered during investigations into the incident. These weapons have been directed to the government analyst for this purpose. The Criminal Investigations Department informed the court that the related report had not yet been received. 27 inmates were killed and more than 20 others injured in deadly shooting during the Valikada prison riot on November 9, 2012. Minister Dominda Disanayake has said that President Maithripala Sirisena will be the only candidate contesting from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party at the next presidential election. The minister said that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party candidate for the next presidential election will definitely be President Maithripala Sirisena. After announcing the election at the end of 2019 and after holding the election in 2020, it will be Maithripala Sirisena who will be serving as the President of Sri Lanka from 2020 to 2025. He said he was stating this with responsibility. The minister pointed out that they were not prepared to reveal their strategy, but it would be done on a later date. The minister pointed out that the president will take the leadership of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, bringing all other parties together as well as all the members of the party sans any differences. The minister was speaking at a Sri Lanka Freedom Party Balamandala meeting organised at the Jintupitia grounds in central Colombo. Expressing his views at this meeting, Minister Faisal Mustafa said that the challenge of the people of this authority area is bigger. With the strength of the president, they were able to discharge a major task for the children of the area. Today, the people are with them. President Maithripala Sirisena made a political revolution in the country. It brought about a change in the political culture of the country. Minister Rajitha Senaratne has said that there is no shortage of medical drugs in hospitals. The minister further said that some are attempting to portray a drugs shortage to achieve political gains. The minister said that they had a full stock of drugs. The minister said that he was meeting the public on every Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and discussions center on a rare shortage of drugs that is being experienced. Instantly, he got connected with the director of the hospital and it has been found that there is no such shortage. At some places, it has been found that such shortages are being created due to political reasons. The minister said that he has detected some of them and inquiries are in progress in this regard. Such shortages were reported at the Apeksha hospital. But when he contacted the hospital, it was found that there are no shortages. Inquiries are also made in this respect. The minister was addressing the Provincial Health Ministers' Conference at the National Blood Transfusion Centre. It was organised under the patronage of Minister Rajitha Senaratne. A review on the matters discussed at the previous Provincial Health Ministers' Conference was also made. The minister took action to expedite the provision of relief for the distribution of drugs. Ministry Secretary B.G.S. Gunatilaka and Health Services Director General Specialist Dr. Anil Jasingha, as well as people's representatives, were among those present. The elephant fence and many roads reconstructed under the Sirisara Pibisuma Trincomalee district program will be vested in the people the day after tomorrow under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. On the same day, the President will vest in the public the Gomarang Kadavala Bakmi Weber nurtured from the Elanga network and which has been completed under the tank reconstruction project. Many development projects in the Trincomalee district were launched last year under the Sirisara Pibisuma based on a 5-year plan. Accordingly, the allocation made by the government for the reconstruction of tanks and roads in the Trincomalee district and the construction of the elephant fences by the year 2021 is 5,000 million rupees. Reconstruction of 3 roads were carried out last year according to this project. All these reconstructions are being made with the full contribution of the engineering force of the Sri Lanka Army and under the supervision of the Presidential Secretariat. Many dilapidated rural roads are being reconstructed under this program. Roads totaling more than 600 kilometers are being reconstructed in the Trincomalee district. Also, construction work of an elephant fence 39 kilometers long that is being carried out as a pilot project is nearing completion. Still at home, a ceremony to mark the commemoration of the 112th birth anniversary of Sri Lanka's first executive president J.R. Jayawardena was held in Tokyo, Japan. The commemorative function was held at the Hachioji Shyamada Unryoji Vihare in Tokyo. It was organized for the 5th occasion under the guidance of the United National Party branch of Japan. Sri Lankans as well as Japanese nationals participated in this commemorative function. A statue of J.R. Jayawardena has been built at the Unryoji Vihare in honor of the service he had rendered on behalf of Japan at the San Francisco Peace Conference. Floral tributes were paid to the statue on this occasion. Messages sent by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Minister Akhila Viraj Karivasam were presented at the function. The ceremony was organized on the instructions of Sri Lanka's ambassador to Japan, Professor Dhammika Ganganath Disanayaka. Now, people in several areas in the island are facing immense difficulties following the severe drought that is being experienced. People of many villages in the Anuradhapura district are facing a severe water shortage and also a shortage of food. All tanks and canals in areas such as Namalpura, Maitrigama and Halmilla have dried up. People who earn their livelihoods from the agricultural industry and dairy farming are encountering immense difficulties due to a shortage of water. They are trying their best to meet their water needs by digging holes in dried up tanks. The people of Perikulama Maila Gasbaba villages in the Mihintale area are confronting dire difficulties due to the drought. The kidney disease prevailing in the area has aggravated as they are unable to meet their drinking water needs. Many in the Maila Gasbaba village have been identified as kidney patients. Meanwhile, around 1,000 families in the Bandokayaya area in Ambelipitia have been rendered helpless due to the lack of drinking water. They have to trod several miles in search of water. They find their water from a private pipe located at a very long distance. Several water resources in the Vaunia district have dried up following the drought situation. They too have to travel a long distance in search of water. Many of them have contracted the kidney and other diseases due to a shortage of water. The people are calling for the provision of a filter machine to obtain water. Now finally on News at Home, it has been agreed to purchase 200 metric tons of potatoes daily with the mediation of the government. This agreement was reached during a discussion held at the Labour Ministry under the patronage of Minister Ravindra Samaravira. Potato cultivators in the Valimada, Uvaparanagama and Bandaravela areas are facing difficulties due to a fall in the price of potatoes. As such, Minister Ravindra Samaravira summoned a special meeting with representatives of farmer organizations and state officials. The farmer community pointed out that the dispatch of potatoes purchased by Satosa to the wholesale market is not sufficient. Accordingly, agreement was reached to purchase 200 metric tons of potatoes daily. A decision was also reached on the locations where the potatoes should be stocked. The minister said that with the purchase of potatoes through the mediation of the government, a reasonable price can be ensured to the farmers as well as the consumers. That's all for we have today, but I'll be back with more news tomorrow. And in the meantime, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news at home and overseas. I'm Lahiru signing off. Have a good night.